story. The pollution prediction is dire for the national capital this Diwali. Pollution levels already in the poor category will hit very poor on October 22nd, and for the next 7 days they'll be toxic, so God save Delhi really. Ahead of that, a bit of a breather came from the Supreme Court today. It has junked BJP MP Manoj Tiwari's plea for green crackers to be allowed in the capital on Diwali. The Kejriwal government has a complete ban on crackers in the city, but Mr. Tiwari has called this ban anti-Hindu. Therefore, he went to the Supreme Court and challenged it. The Supreme Court, while turning down the petition, said, let people breathe clean air, spend your money on sweets if you have to spend it on something. The situation in Delhi right now is bad enough for phase 2 of the graded response action plan to kick in. This will mean a series of measures, including a ban on the use of coal and firewood in hotels and restaurants and open-air eateries as well. As the Supreme Court did what it did today, politicians were doing what they usually do. Home Minister Amit Shah, sounding the bugle for the MCD polls, said AAP was responsible for garbage mountains that lead to pollution in Delhi. AAP responded in kind. Listen in.
दिल्ली को स्वच्छ करने के लिए उठाया गया है और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि 2025 आने के पहले दिल्ली का जितना दैनंदिन कचरा आता है, सारे कचरे की प्रोसेस की व्यवस्था एमसीडी के माध्यम से हम खड़ी कर पाएंगे और फ्यूचर में, भविष्य में इस प्रकार के कचरे के ढेर, कचरे के पहाड़ कभी नजर नहीं आएंगे।
और 17 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने दिल्ली को ये गिफ्ट दिया, दिल्ली के अंदर ये ताजमहल बनाए, 3 कूड़े के बड़े बड़े पहाड़ बनाए, और अभी इनका नया नोटिफिकेशन आ रहा है कि दिल्ली के अंदर ऐसे 16 और कूड़े के पहाड़ तैयार करेंगे। अमित शाह जी कह रहे हैं कि हमें 3 साल और दे दीजिए कूड़े के पहाड़ साफ करने के लिए। क्यों दे भाई? 17 साल कम होते हैं कूड़े के पहाड़ साफ करने के लिए? 17 साल में तो आपने दिल्ली पूरी तरह से बर्बाद कर दी।
Just to tell you that garbage that lies in the open is a contributor to Delhi's very poor air quality. Now, even as Delhi's air quality remains in the very poor category, newly appointed Delhi minister from the Aam Aadmi Party, Rajkumar Anand's supporters were very happy. So they decided to completely overlook the ban on crackers that their own government has put in the national capital and burst crackers. So these pictures that you saw are coming in from last night. Delhi's environment minister has very clearly said that anyone who bursts crackers will be fined 200 rupees. Worse, they will be sentenced to 6 months of jail. Yet no action has been taken against the supporters of this Aam Aadmi Party minister newly appointed. Let me go across to our guests this evening who are joining us on the broadcast. The question I'm asking them is politics polluting Delhi's fight back against pollution? Nighat Abbas is a BJP leader. She's on the broadcast with us. Thank you, Nighat, for joining us. Syed Asad Abbas is a political analyst. Will speak on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party because the Aam Aadmi Party has not sent a representative to the panel despite us asking them. Ashwini Dubey is a Supreme Court advocate. He's someone who had approached the Supreme Court to ask them to reverse this complete ban of crackers in the national capital and at least allow green crackers. So I'm asking him why exactly he's done that. Vimlendu is an environmentalist joining us, and Bhavreen Khandari is a social analyst. She's also a very strong citizen's voice, so she's speaking today on behalf of citizens of Delhi. Ashwini Dubey ji, you have heard what the Supreme Court has said. The Supreme Court has said, if you need to spend money, please don't spend it on crackers, spend it on sweets. Let Delhi breathe. Nothing doing green crackers or black crackers or pink crackers or red crackers. Nothing will be allowed in the national capital.
Thank you, Shreya ji, for having me here. Shreya ji, there were 4 prayers, and very outrightly you have jumped to the conclusion that the petition was dismissed. No. The Supreme Court, though I was not present there, Mr. Shashank Shekhar Jha mentioned this matter, who was the representing Mr. Manoj Tiwari. Supreme Court says that there is no urgency. We will hear this matter later on. There were 4 prayers. One of the prayer was that issue a writ order direction in the nature of mandamus or any other guidelines to each and every state to take necessary measures in order to reduce the pollution, including installation of smog towers. In 2021, a bench led by Honorable Justice N.V. Ramanna said the same thing. In 2022, a bench led by then Chief Justice said the same thing. In 2019, the bench led by Honorable Justice Arun Mishra said that, look, the people from all state of Uttar Pradesh, state of Punjab, state of Delhi, as well as from Haryana will sit. And then the pollution control board, along with the experts of the different fields, will sit and will decide what should be the modus and how can this pollution be reduced. Last year, the Honorable Supreme Court affidavit filed in the Supreme Court, and the government of India, in fact, said that there are not only one reason for contributing the pollution. Delhi has been the second most polluted city on the planet, but there are several reasons. One of the reason is the stubble burning. Another reason is that the construction activities. Another reason is the vehicular use, pollution by the diesel emission vehicles. Another reason is rampant construction activities in and around Delhi. So that is why the Environment Department, Public Works Department, Delhi Police, Traffic Police, Municipal Corporation Delhi, New Delhi Municipal Council, and many other experts.
So what is your point? Nahin, Arey Dubey ji, this is not the Supreme Court. Arey bhai Dubey ji, this is not the Supreme Court. I only have 20 minutes on the debate. What is your point?
Shreya ji, I'm saying that you have jumped to the gun. You have reached to the conclusion that Supreme Court has dismissed it. No, Supreme Court says that there is no urgency. We will hear this matter later on because the Supreme Court itself has said the green crackers are allowed. So terming and defaming somebody who has
no. For Delhi, 1 minute. No. Dubey ji, ye aap gadbad mat kariye. For Delhi, what has the Supreme Court said right now? What was Mr. Manoj Tiwari's plea? A, as a responsible BJP neta, why did he go to the Supreme Court in the first place to challenge Mr. Kejriwal's complete ban on crackers?
He has not
even
challenged.
Something that causes 1% pollution. Even if it contributes 1% to the pollution in Delhi, it's bad enough. And anecdotally, we know that anecdotally we know how everyone's lungs are doing the day after Diwali. So for any one of us to say that crackers don't cause pollution, etc., simply doesn't make sense. So aap kya bol rahe hain? Matlab, you are telling me that the Supreme Court has not banned.
No, मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. फिर आपने फिर ट्विस्ट किया मेरी बात को जर्नलिस्टिक अप्रोच से. पेज 26 पर श्रेया जी, मनोज तिवारी जी ने जो प्रेयर किया, पहला प्रेयर ये था कि फ्रेश गाइडलाइंस इशू करिए इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ सेलिंग, परचेजिंग परमिसिबल फायर क्रैकर्स. दूसरा, written order or direction in the nature of mandamus or any other issuing guidelines to each and every state to not take coercive action like lodging the FIR. Where is the wrong in it? A public spirited person is approaching the Supreme Court. Third, then guidelines that installation of smoke
no,
towers,
the public spirit. How is this public?
Why don't you explain those things?
No.
There are 3 prayers. I can
very
share
good. Very good.
This program.
Yes. Very good. The petition was very right, and there are 3 prayers. I understand that. When Mr. Manoj Tiwari's petition was drafted, he sent one for all of us, and we have read that as well. Vimlendu Jha come in here as an environmentalist. Mr. Ashwini Kumar Dubey is saying this is a public-spirited citizen, a neta who has gone to the court, not just with one darkhwast, but with many darkhwasts. But the fact is that I remember reading the petition, and the petition very clearly says that this complete ban on firecrackers is anti-Hindu, and therefore please allow green crackers for us. Is this public-spirited?
Not at all, and I could not understand half of the thing Mr. Dubey said. And if he claims that, right to pollute Delhi's air, which is already so toxic, if that's called public-spirited, I don't really know what public spirit or, doing good for the society is. At the same time, please understand this issue is not about anti-Hindu or pro-Hindu. This is about anti-people or pro-people. You should also understand that the Supreme Court banned firecrackers in the first place, not because of a petition of a political party or of environmentalists. There were 3 children who actually went to the Supreme Court, and that's how firecrackers were banned. Second point, what Manoj Tiwari has asked for, permissible limits. Those green firecrackers are oxymoron. They pollute 30% less. It still pollutes 70%. I do not understand. I'm very sure Dubey ji also has family members and also resides in Delhi NCR. Do you know what Delhi looks like the next day of Diwali, sir? Do you know that the hospitals of Delhi run out of ICU beds on the next day of Diwali? There are doctors, there are experts. I understand that you're wearing a hat of your client. Representing a client is very different. But in all honesty, please understand, when Delhi is in ICU, when Delhi is in a public health emergency, do you want to pollute it further? Will you make the situation bad to worse? I'm not saying firecrackers is the only reason why Delhi's air is completely polluted. But on that particular day, it becomes 30% worse than the permissible limits. So as much as you can defend your client, and I can understand that if you're speaking as a lawyer for your client, then it's okay. You can keep arguing and counter-arguing. But as a citizen of Delhi, as a father, as a brother, as a son, or just as a responsible citizen, what sort of a logic of public spirit is this when you're asking to add more toxic air to already 450, 500? Do you know, Mr. Dubey, that next morning or the same night also, Delhi's air quality becomes 999, which basically means that the machines of air quality can't even read how polluted it is. Delhi's smog or this entire bad air stays for 3-4 days. People lose their lives. So your moment of joy and right to practice Hinduism takes away lives of children. Every third child in Delhi is asthma. I'm not saying it's because of firecrackers, but if firecracker is in the list of those 20 things, ban that. And this is not a question of livelihood. I keep talking about stubble burning, at least in the case of stubble burning. We talk about rights of farmers, we're looking at institutional framework. But in this case, what joy are you actually talking about? Putting a puljari to a child who's already asthmatic. Every third child is asthmatic. And because you want to please your God or my God for that sake, you want to really bring in these toxic firecrackers. Last 5 days, Shreya, I've heard that this is anti-China, pro-China, pro-Hindu. Like, this is absolute stupidity. In any sane society, when you are in the ICU, you really try to come out of ICU rather than going to CCU.
Thank you, Shreya. Right to reply is my fundamental...
The thing with facts is...
Shreya, right to reply is my fundamental right.
Of course, right to reply is your fundamental right. आप बहुत लंबा बोल देंगे फिर मैं बाकियों को नहीं ले पाऊंगी. Next question. Should I quickly ask?
मैं बस 30 सेकंड लूंगा और आपके साथ.
आप लॉयर है ना दुबे जी, आप बहुत लंबा बोलते हैं. चलिए. Okay. 20 seconds, Dubey ji. 20 seconds for you to respond.
I really respect the freedom of speech and expression of my brother, Mr. Jha. On November 15, 2021, the bench led by Honorable Supreme Court said that bench led by Honorable Supreme Court said that entry of heavy vehicles.
Give me a minute. There's been a major development. Give me a minute. Of news, I do believe that was important for our viewers to know. But Nighat Abbas, all right, I believe we've lost our line to Nighat Abbas. Syed Asad Abbas, you're a political analyst. You speak on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party. Fact is that, we still do not know. We are seeing shots of Parali, which is why I'm talking about it. We are seeing shots of farm fires, which is why I'm talking about it. Most of the farm fires which caused trouble in Delhi originate in Punjab, which is now under the Aam Aadmi Party. Help me understand, and this is the season of farm fires, and we are seeing farm fires in Punjab as we speak as well. Now, what is of dispute is the fact we don't know what is the contribution of farm fires to Delhi's pollution. Anywhere between 10%, as the government of India has said, to 35-36% that an NGO put out. Irrespective of that, the Aam Aadmi Party, while enforcing a full cracker ban in the national capital, has not been able to do anything about the Paralis in Punjab. Many people will say this is hypocrisy. If measures have to be taken, all measures have to be taken.
Firstly, Shreya ji, you introduced me that I speak on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party, which I don't in my following statement. Now you will agree with me on the same. The reason I did see a Delhi minister coming through supporters burning crackers. This is absolutely not okay. I truly believe the Ministry of Home Affairs comes under the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the Delhi police must and should take action against all those supporters. Therefore, I do not speak on behalf of them. But I do certainly have my view. You asked me a question on Punjab. Punjab, when the associates and the committee came together, it was decided that the centre and the state government together, state government of Aam Aadmi Party under Shri Bhagwat Man Singh ji and the central government will give 2,500 rupees to the farmers in order for compensation of the stubble burning. 1,000 rupees provided by the Punjab government and 1,500 by the central government. The central government refused to do so. That is a fact. Also, as a matter of fact, what do we see in Delhi? In Delhi, there is a 15-point action plan of the Aam Aadmi Party led by Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, where they bring in every single measure. There is a 24/7 green room. There is also anti-smoke guns, fertilizers coming through. Also, we have, of course, Paryavaran Mitras who are bringing in 8,500 volunteers, e-waste, e-forestation, Green Delhi app, working with neighbors.
But this exact program and this exact plan, copy to copy, was in place last year as well. Did it help?
Yes. I've always believed, Shreya ji, harkat se barkat. Without only jumlebazi is not going to help neither the Aam Aadmi Party or the Bharatiya Janata Party. My firm stand here is both the parties together need to work on this. Pinpointing, blaming is not going to work. The fact of the matter, one of the leaders of the burning a Kude Ka Ravan is a complete oxymoron. What are you doing, sir? That is something I do not subscribe to. Neither Amit Shah ji blaming that those garbage mountains like Taj Mahal belong to the Aam Aadmi Party. No. The NDMC themselves have claimed that there will be 10 or 15 more which will be coming through. A humble submission I make as a political analyst is both the parties, the BJP and the forget your respective party lines, cut across party lines, come together for the oneness and the right of the people of Delhi. The fact that there is so much of badnami happening of Delhi, there was an international female boxer who came in and spoke about this, that while she was rehearsing 5 in the morning, the air quality index was so bad, she couldn't breathe. Is this what we want? Aren't our people or the BJP people both are Indians? So it's high time to keep the politics aside, come together for better solutions. Enough of garbage mountains, enough of your dirty Rajniti. It is time to come together and go ahead. I gave 15 action plan. Can the BJP give at least
Nighat Abbas, where is that federal? Okay. Nighat Abbas, come in here. You speak on behalf of the BJP. Come in here. Where is that federal spirit? Is pollution only Delhi's problem? It is not only Delhi's problem. It is the problem of entire North India. It is the problem of Punjab. It is the problem of Haryana. It is the problem of Rajasthan. It is the problem of Uttar Pradesh. It is the problem of Delhi as well. Yet, Gopal Rai, the Environment Minister of Delhi, says that I have written multiple times to the Environment Minister of this country to say that let environment ministers of at least these 5-6 states sit together much before pollution comes to Delhi and draw up a plan as to what we can do. He says he's never got a response from you guys. All we get is some drama that we see, Kude ke Ravan, that the BJP will go and burn on Dussehra Day and cause more pollution.
How cool is that, Shreya, that the Environment Minister of Delhi speaking to the media, giving out a statement in open. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, Shreya, can you hear me? Yeah.
I can.
I'm
go ahead.
saying that how cool is that the Delhi's Environment Minister is certainly being so sweet to come out and give out the statement to the media about the environment and so concerned about the environment, and none of the panelists today are here on your panel from Aam Aadmi Party. Isn't it very cool to just give out a statement and not let your Aam Aadmi spokesperson come on the television and speak? Isn't it evident that you are shying away from speaking about the subject? We aren't. The BJP spokesperson is sitting right here to talk about the subject. Why? Because we are ready to join hands with any state government to deal with the subject. Apparently, Aam Aadmi's government is not. Since the time Aam Aadmi Party has come in power in Punjab, they were very uptight about the things that would be sorting the problems, and now there'll be no stubble burning and all of that and whatnot gyan they were giving. Till the time when they were not in power and Congress party was there in Punjab, they were, shouting at the peak of their voices कि अब तो हम इसके खिलाफ धरना करेंगे, stubble burning हो रहा है, यहाँ से हो रहा है, हरियाणा में आपकी सरकार है, वहाँ पर कांग्रेस की सरकार है, दिल्ली तो यहाँ पर फंस गई है. Now Punjab is also having your sarkar, Aam Aadmi Party's sarkar. Sadly, I do not have a spokesperson to answer, so we just have to say the statement and go off because we do not have answers from them. That is the problem. We are not here to not join hands. If we talking about to clear the pollution from the North
Abbas,
India,
all that is very well.
We are ready to
You have a
join hands.
point, and
If
quickly
that is
counter,
the case,
please.
Syed will respond to that.
to the environment minister,
Yeah,
You have a point, and
Huh?
Syed will respond to that, Nighat.
Okay.
Now, please
Okay.
answer my question.
Ma'am.
1 minute, Syed, just a minute. Nighat, please help me understand.
From the central government.
Okay,
and
Nick,
not be
help me
hands
understand this then.
for the
You are a
pollution
responsible
control.
party, right? The BJP is a responsible party, right? The BJP is a responsible party. The air we breathe in Delhi is the air the Prime Minister of this
course it
country
is.
breathes, the President of this country breathes, all union ministers breathe, etc., etc.
course
है ना?
it is.
All right, so you are a responsible party. Help me understand why the neta of a responsible party, that too a neta who has been elected from Delhi, Mr. Manoj Tiwari, would actually knock at the doors of the Supreme Court and say, please allow some crackers, please allow some firecrackers. This is anti-Hindu. You're not allowing firecrackers in India, in Delhi, because the Kejriwal government is anti-Hindu. What sort of plea is this?
Shreya, the problem is not that. It is not something which occurs only post Diwali. It has already started. It is not the fire cracking clearly. It is,
And
it is that
therefore it
you
is
do
okay
not,
to make
you are
it
not
worse during
installing
Diwali.
the smoke towers in Delhi or at the borders if stubble burning is happening. It is not only the firecrack, it's just one day, and that to be the green
Shreya ji, allow me
crackers.
to
It's
counter,
not
please.
the petition. I'm sure you've read it. It is not about the crackers which creates pollution. It is about the green crackers. And yes, if minimal
allow me to
crackers
counter,
are allowed,
please.
I am
I
okay
heard you.
with it. The state would be okay because
Can I
just
quickly
one day.
counter?
I am talking about that why
green crackers is an oxymoron. I don't know what that means.
For the advertisement
Allow me to
of
counter,
Arvind
please. A quick
Kejriwal
counter,
in
Shreya
Delhi,
ji, counter.
you have all the money, you're getting
Counter
all the money
coming up.
from the central government to, kind of post
counter
lots
coming
of
up. Counter,
posters of
Shreya
yours,
ji.
Arvind Kejriwal being marketized,
Allow me
the
to
head of
counter.
marketing, and you're
Allow me
not
to
getting
counter.
at all
Mr.
money
Abbas,
for the
I will
smoke
give you 20
towers and
seconds
for
only.
clearing pollution.
Because I have to
of
get
Delhi.
in
A quick
Bhavreen here.
counter. A quick counter to, could I speak, or Bhavreen would want to speak? Could I quickly counter, please? All right, thank you. Very responsibly,
Go
the very
ahead,
able
20
and responsible
seconds, yeah.
spokesperson of the very responsible party said so many things about responsibility. Where is your responsibility, ma'am? Your central government is supposed to give 1,500 rupees to every farmer per acre. Did you give? No. Please go check with the Comptroller Auditor General. Also, as a matter of fact, you speak of responsibility. What have you done till now? Arvind Kejriwal has 15-point action plan. What do you have? Babaji Katullu, kuch nahi hai tumhare paas. Aur sabse badi baat, it is your leader, Manoj Tiwari, the defeated Chief Minister candidate of yours, who went to the Supreme Court. Arvind Kejriwal
My
didn't go.
friend
It's
Arvind
easy to say the
Kejriwal
Hindu
has
party get
said
the votes,
about
but
this
it's
that
not
he
going to
wants
work
to
for you.
install
Clearly.
a
And
smoke
also,
tower in
you
every
are
ward of
Aam Aadmi
Delhi.
Party,
Where
you
is
are
it?
absent. Why are you
We
absent
see
during
sharab
Bilkis
ke
Batra's
tekas in
debate?
every ward
Why
in
are
Delhi,
you
but we
Let's
do not
get in the
see
citizen
it.
finally.
Where are they?
Bhavreen Khandari. Okay, let's get in the citizen finally. No. Is this the problem, Bhavreen? Bhavreen, is this the problem? That actually politics is polluting Delhi's pushback to pollution.
So upsetting. This is absolutely, and I just can't seem to understand that this is so shameful. The way I don't know. As a citizen, we have to stop even naming the parties, because it doesn't matter which party, whether it's Delhi, center, it doesn't matter. You are responsible for my children who will live 10 years lesser than any other child who will be in another city breathing clean air. Doesn't that matter? Doesn't that matter to you, Mr. Dubey? Doesn't that matter to my other co-panelists, to the minister, to the so-called public-spirited Mr. Tiwari? It is eventually, what are we? We are all parents. We are all concerned parents, and we should be fighting for the cause, which means that I'm so surprised that Mr. Dubey, you know that Supreme Court also has called air pollution. You know about green crackers and whatever they've said, but do you know that Supreme Court called air pollution a public health emergency? Does Mr. Tiwari know that? And what is it that you should be doing in a public health emergency? Are we doing that? That means that we have to be in an emergency. We have to be working on every source of pollution. And this debate and this narrative of which source of pollution is more or less is absolutely nonsensical. Because you asked me that it's been 2 decades that we are talking of clean air, and if my children are now, it doesn't matter what we did or we didn't, they have damaged lungs. They will live with the damaged lungs. But are we still going to continue and do this to the future and generation of the future of the city? Then I'm so sorry. You don't deserve to be parents. You don't deserve to be politicians. You don't deserve to be advocates. You don't deserve to be anything. This is, it's just every year the same, we're repeating the same things. Shreya, we meet at this time and we say the same things. And Supreme Court did also in 2017 say that no extension to thermal power plants, but it's happening. So what are we doing to that? Everything. It's not about whether stubble, thermal power plants, industrial pollution, construction, all year round for Aam Aadmi Party. Please, these campaigns of Pariyavaran Mitras and all this, we've had enough of all this because it's all on paper, it's all on headlines. What you really need to do is the action all year round. You are constructing, you made these horrible plans of making expressways and underpasses and flyovers, which are you are just a vehicle-friendly party. You have to make the city sustainable for people, the masses, who have to live here, who have to travel. Where is it's been 7-8 years that we are looking for that good public transport system, which is the buses. They're still not there. We're still here. Of course, it's welcoming when we hear that there are 1,000 buses coming and e-buses are coming. But where are they? Year after year after year is going. And I know the challenges also because, again, there is no cooperation between the centre and the state. But what does it cost? It costs citizens like us. Citizens, ordinary citizens, every citizen, and that means every one of us on this panel. We are all citizens before we are politicians, and air is something that's going to affect everybody. It's not going to spare anyone, So this is absolutely not acceptable.
Essentially, the number one polluter. Essentially, the number one polluter for Delhi's air is the politics.
Yeah.
Bhavreen, essentially, the number one polluter to Delhi's air is actually the politics between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. If the two parties had decided to sit together and solve this issue would have been solved 8 years ago. The fact that it has still not been solved and we continue to breathe toxic air, not just during the winter, by the way, through the year, means that our politicians once again have failed us. I think that is the honest truth. We can keep blaming Parali and vehicular traffic and firecrackers, etc., but it's the politics and the politicians of this country that have failed the national capital once again. And this is our showcase city, just by the way. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Things are about to get worse, ladies and gentlemen, in Delhi. So this is not the last conversation we are having on the issue. I'm going to thank my guests for joining us and for being patient with the piece of breaking news we were getting our viewers. Thank you very much.